Why, hello, friends. We are here for day 6 of our little series of learning from the world's leading experts in confinement. And I'll tell you, I actually had different content planned for today. But as you always, conversations and life circumstances create insights and moments that are worth sharing. And I realized just I've been having a few conversations with people that seem to come from a deep place of fear, uncertainty, unknowingness, unsettledness, which is totally normal. Let's be really clear. And my heart goes out to that and to all of us that feel that. And then I do mean all of us because we all do at a certain level or extent. And what I realized in one of these conversations is that there's a characteristic of these times that can be a source of inspiration or be a source of fear. And it all depends on how we're able to move through and see this. It's not easy, but the fact of the matter is, I do believe it's in this idea of perception that's the linchpin between those that thrive, those that survive, and those that don't. And this idea is that the situation we're in now, more than possibly any other situation in our lives, is an identity shifting time. This is an identity shifting time. And that is scary as heck. Because if you're one of those people that have already done the work of shifting who you are, then it is absolutely incredibly scary to let go of who we've been, of all the things that have made us successful, of all the ways we've worked that have created what we have today, of the lifestyle and the families and the people that we've surrounded ourselves with. Letting go of the idea of putting at risk those elements is incredibly scary. Because on top of that, we're letting them go to step into an unknown and something that some others may have told us it's nicer, but how the heck are we supposed to know? And it is that dichotomy that I think is so incredibly difficult for most of us. And the more we're able to embrace this as being identity shifting, the fact is that we, in my humble opinion, are meant to grow through this. We're meant to receive a gift through this. This is not meant to destroy us. This is meant to build us. And it all depends if we're going to allow it to create the elements for it to build us. And so here again, where prison comes in. Prison, as we know, is a highly destructive environment and violent and dark and all those different things, degrading, dehumanizing. And many, many, many people in there are in there because they are gang members. And as some of you may know, a lot of gangs have kind of a rule that is labeled as blood in, blood out. And you don't come out of a gang once you're in. And yet, a lot of these guys make the decision to step out of a gang. I'll tell you, I don't know the politics and the dynamics around this. But that decision is a life and death decision. For many of them, maybe even most of them, the true risks to them is to be killed. And yet, they make that commitment to step away from their known lifestyle of violence and gangs and drugs and all the things associated with that, to step into an environment that's completely unknown to them. Now, from our perspective, it might seem relatively easy. Well, of course someone would want an environment where it's, you're more at peace, you don't have to be looking behind your back all the time, you're no longer in a politics that are run around gangs and drugs. And yet, from their perspective, having never experienced that before, they have no idea what they're stepping into. And it is possibly one of the most scariest and most dangerous decisions they will have to make. And yet they do. And at one point in the journey, they make that commitment. They just choose to let go of who they were. And there's a literal, and I hope this vocabulary is going to be okay for people, a little dying of self, of letting go of all that identity of who they were in this hierarchy of violence and of drugs. And to put that to the side, to no longer give that any value. And to step into being nothing. Because at that point, that's the only thing they are, is they are nothing. Because they have been nothing outside of those dynamics. And from there to become who, become something, I guess, become who they're meant to be, to step into what I call their brilliance, that part inside them that is our true God-given essence, our true light, our true spirit, our true what we are put on this earth to do and to be. But it's only possible to do that by letting go of how we had defined ourselves in the past. And the scary thing is that the more we're able to let go of that old identity, the more, essentially we're creating the destruction of that old identity. We're letting the leaves of that tree fall off. The more new growth can show up. Imagine if a tree were to keep its leaves. There's no more room for new leaves in the spring. And so the tree has to let go of its leaves. And I think this is what the time is asking us to do right now. Individually and collectively, because a collective is only a collection of individuals. It is asking us to let go of a lot of different pieces that have defined us, that have made us into who we are, that we believed defined our value, and to let go of that and to go into nothing so that we can then grow new leaves. And can we do that while having no idea what those leaves are going to be? That is the journey we're on. If you truly want to be on this journey, and you truly want to show up on the other side in your beauty, in your brilliance, in your gifts, in your grace, in your power, because that's what true power is. And so this is what this time is about. This is the journey I'm on, and that I wish for all of us to be on. To let go of who we were and to step into who we know ourselves to be when we are being quiet with ourselves. I can't wait to hear where this goes.